Coming up next is Dr. Kimberly Taylor. Here's your chance to talk about what matters to you. Although you will receive helpful advice from Dr. Taylor, remember, this is not to be construed as a form of psychotherapy, diagnosis, or treatment, and cannot replace a therapeutic relationship with a mental health professional. You can reach Dr. Taylor by calling 564-1290 or toll free at 866-564-1290. You can also listen live on the internet at drkimtaylorshow.com. So here now is Dr. Kimberly Taylor.
Welcome to the show today. It's good to be back here with you again, and I hope that you've had a good week. But if something is troubling you and you would like to talk about it, I'm here for the next hour, as I am every Thursday afternoon. So give me a call, and let's see if we can't work it out together. Today, I want to begin with talking about relationships. In recent shows, I've been talking about dating and developing healthy relationships. I see a lot of couples in my private practice, and with so much focus on the rate of divorce these days and the difficulty maintaining a long-term relationship, I wanted to share some thoughts about how to perhaps divorce-proof your marriage. According to some surveys, the rate of divorce is at an all-time high, and women today are twice as likely to seek divorce as men, citing lack of quality time and connection to their partners. So what's going on? And more importantly, how can we become more aware of what we need to do to maintain healthy, loving, and lasting relationships? I once heard that love should be easy and we shouldn't have to work for it. Well, I've been in a long-term marriage, and let me tell you, it does take time and effort to create a passion that lasts a lifetime. But anything worth having is, and certainly should be, worth working for. So here are 7 steps that you can take to help divorce-proof your marriage. First, be kind and respectful. We have to learn to treat each other kindly and not use and misuse each other to work out our own frustrations, disappointments, and fears in life. When communicating with your partner, always ask yourself, is it kind, necessary, or true? Whatever you think, do, or say, be willing to put it through your own filter first and be responsible for the energy that you put out there. Second, embrace the differences. Stop insisting that your partner needs to see and feel things the same way you do. The challenge in a relationship is to figure out how to live with and enjoy the differences between us. Believe it or not, it's in how you negotiate the differences between you that is either going to make or break the relationship. 3, make time to talk openly and honestly. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and reveal your true self. Don't play games. If you are upset, tell the truth. Don't hold on to it and let anger and resentment bury the passion and love you have between you. And 4, be honest about your needs. You can't expect to have your needs met by your partner if you're not open and honest about what they are. And 5, encourage growth and change. You are 2 separate individuals coming together to support each other's best potential. Be supportive of each other and do not hold grudges. Learn to forgive and move forward. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for creating long-term happiness. And 6, make time for love. Carve out time to be together. Regular lovemaking creates an intimate bond between the 2 of you that you do not have with anyone else. It isn't how much sex you have, but how often you touch and communicate with each other, even in your non-sexual encounters, that develops the bonding between you. And lastly, show your appreciation for each other. Remember, everyone likes to feel appreciated and valued, so express your gratitude. This is an important part of feeling respected and special in your relationship. So recognize that your relationship is fragile, and it needs to be nurtured and cared for just like any living thing. Be responsible for creating a relationship that meets the needs of both people involved. When I send warm wishes to newlyweds, I often write, know that you are loved, act as if you are loved, and love everything you say and do. So if you would like to call in today, if you have a question, if you have a comment, just give me a call. I'm here at 564-1290 or toll free at 866-564-1290. Stay with me. I'll be right back to take your calls after the break. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290.
You are listening to Dr. Kimberly Taylor. You can reach her by calling 564-1290 or toll free at 866-564-1290.
Welcome back. I'm here with Sandy Jacoy, who is our screener here, and she will be the first one that you will talk to when you call up. So, Sandy, last week we had talked about online dating, and we seem to have hit a nerve. It seems that people out there are really feeling that they're trying to figure out how to work it all out in this very fast-paced environment where hooking up is sometimes done with little or none of the getting-to-know-you stage. So,
I'm still trying to get over the words hooking up.
Last week I had just really tried to define that, but it does involve a lot, and people are out there getting very involved very quickly, and there's really this mentality about this instant gratification. What do you feel about that?
I want it fixed right now.
Me too.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
Gratification, and I want to know the answer to this all right now because yes, I have kids, and as I know you do too, and a lot of our listeners that are parents out there are thinking the same thing. I wonder. My greatest concern about this troubles me sometimes at night is watching as my children were growing up, the inability to really be patient with people. Mm-hmm. These text messaging and all the computer friendship sites and Facebook and all of this, there's no staying power in relationships anymore. It's a lot easier just to defriend or just to move on to the next one. And I wonder if it's not changing the way our culture is falling in love.
Well, I think that falling in love is something that we need to look at because I don't think that they're necessarily falling in love. They're falling in like and lust when they're... But it takes quite a bit more to be able to fall in love. One of the things that I find, and this is true with some of the clients that I have that come in, are these young girls are expecting to have a longer-term encounter, a longer-term boyfriend kind of setting. But what happens is that women often create bonds because we're just naturally, biologically programmed that way when they're having sex, and so they expect more to happen, and they become very disappointed when that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and I think part of the online process is that you have the ability to really project all your deepest fantasy, wants, and desires on the person that you're engaging with. And it sets up even maybe more of a disappointment because you didn't have the opportunity to get those cues in person while you're developing the relationship.
Exactly.
I worry about that for this generation.
What we're finding now is people can hook up, they can break up, they can make up, and now it's all, by the way, through texting.
That's right.
I know.
That's right. Well, by the way, I'd send you a text, but since I have you here right now, we have a call coming in about online dating. I'd like to go take it and patch it into you. Is that okay?
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, Sandy. Hi, Shelby. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Kim. How are you?
I'm good. Do you have a story about online dating or a question?
I actually have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my girlfriends does online dating, and my biggest concern for her, because she won't talk to anybody about this, would probably be how do you carry an online relationship via computer into real life? I could just get really worried for her, I guess, because you don't know who you're actually talking to online.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been talking, to this guy, and I'm just worried that she's not going to be able to have the connection that they're having online in person.
Okay, and I think that's a really good question because I think that does concern lots of people out there. And I think people want to know what they are hearing or what people write online is actually the truth. You say that she's been doing this for a while and she's had some kind of text messaging or video chatting going on with this guy?
There's been zero video chatting, and that's why I have suspicions. There's been phone calls and text messages, but whenever the opportunity comes to FaceTime through the phone or video chat through Skype or something, there's always an excuse on why this man cannot come up on the internet, and that's why I worry for her.
Okay. Do you think that she is kind of concerned about that too, or do you think that she's putting that off and trying to still stay in the hope that he's the guy that she wants him to be and the way that she wants him to look?
Definitely number two. She does not seem as concerned as I am about this.
All right. So this is the way that online dating goes, is that you do meet someone, but then you do have to check it out. And you have to be really safe about how you go about trying to set up the time that you're going to meet the person that you have connected with online. So yes, the first part of it is to talk, but maybe this guy is shy or maybe he is afraid that he's going to be rejected because of his looks. But this is kind of the process, whether it was a blind date or whether it's a video chatting. You're still going to have to go through the same steps in order to create a close, intimate type of relationship.
Yes.
So
I understand that.
Yeah. So at some point, they're going to have to stop talking and to meet.
I know, and that's, I guess, the biggest part that worries me is you hear all these stories, about people doing these online dating, and then they go and they meet and something drastic happens, or, your best friend or whoever is, yourself is, and it end up hurt because it's not as what the person portrays themselves to be over the internet as it is in person.
Well, but it sounds like what they're trying to do is to develop a relationship by sharing and talking and spending some time doing that. So that actually is very good because then they can get beyond just the surface appearance of someone. And at some point in time when she does set up that meet, it would be great maybe for you to go with her or friends to go and kind of make it a group date so that it is still in a safe environment. And then they can see if there is a connection in person also.
I love that idea.
Okay.
I think that is a great idea, and I will definitely tell her that.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope that it works out for her too. Thanks for the call, Shelby.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kim.
I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290. We have on the phone CB. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Kim. How you doing?
I'm good. Do you have a story about online dating?
I do. Actually, I moved to Simi Valley, and I didn't know anyone in the city, so I went online and I signed up for Plenty of Fish, and I went on and did some online dating, and I actually found my first girlfriend in Simi Valley that way.
And was it successful?
Yeah, we dated for I think 4 months, maybe.
Uh-huh.
It was interesting. I would kind of relate it to going into a social environment. It's along the lines of you do have to build up courage to message people and to talk to people and to get them to kind of hang out with you, but at the same time, it's a little easier because you're behind a wall, Mm-hmm. So you don't have to walk up to that person, and there's not like a group of people they're hanging out with. They're kind of solo. But, I find it pretty simple to just talk to people and kind of set up a meet, like get coffee or something.
So it seems like what you're saying is that it is easier because you don't have to deal with the face-to-face rejection just in case it is going to happen.
Yes. And it's a little easier because, like, if you go to a bar or you go to a social setting, most of the time you go there for, like, a band or to hang out with friends or something like that, as opposed to when you're on an online dating site, everyone knows you're there to date.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little easier to say, hey, I'm kind of interested in you. Are you interested in me? As opposed to, if you were to say that walking up to somebody at a subway, it'd be kind of weird.
Uh-huh. Okay, so it kind of eases it because you both are looking for the same thing.
Yeah, you're both on the same playing field.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But there is that little kind of curiosity as to, is this really the person I'm, talking to? So that first initial date where you do, like I went to go play billiards with my girlfriend, and when I went there with some friends because I didn't know if she was going to show up or not. But when I saw her, it was kind of a little awkward, but I kind of walked up. I was like, hey, are you, so-and-so? And she's like, yeah, are you this person? I'm like, yeah. So I played some games with her, and we kind of hit it off, and then we started dating after that. But
so was this your first hit? Was this the first time that you had done it?
Yeah.
Yes, really? So it was a hit the first time.
Yeah.
You actually didn't have to go through lots of people to get there.
No. What I did was I kind of messaged random people that I thought were attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the bios, it takes a long time to read all their stuff. And again, you don't know who you're getting, really. So I like to just message them and be playful about it, and kind of just feel out their character through that, and then kind of do a test the waters with a date, like a, hey, you bring your friends, I'll bring my friends, we go do this and that, some kind of like safe environment where there's a lot of people. But yeah, that was the first girl that I kind of talked to and was like, hey, we should meet up, and she decided that she wanted to, and it was actually pretty simple.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are some good tips, too, about how you went about that so that you did have some contact, you did a message, you did kind of feel it out first, and then to meet in a place that was public, that you had friends that were with you, so just in case it didn't work out, you could easily get out of that, too. So it sounds like it really worked out for you. So are there wedding bells in the future?
No. That's the other thing is that when you do online dating, and even when you do any kind of dating, you don't know what kind of baggage someone has or issues or quirks. And we kind of got into a relationship, and everything was good for a while, but then it kind of fell apart at the end. But I had some good times with her. So I definitely tried it again.
Does that mean you're back fishing?
Yes, I'm definitely swimming in the ocean looking for new fish.
All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing your call, and good luck with that.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
All right. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290.
You are listening to Dr. Kimberly Taylor. You can reach her by calling 564-1290 or toll free at 866-564-1290.
Okay, we're on the phone now with Terry. Hi, Terry. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Taylor. The reason I'm calling today is I recently got laid off, and I've been at my company 6 years, and I'm just extremely scared, overwhelmed, and just overtaken with fear that I'm not going to be able to find anything.
Mm-hmm. And what makes you think you won't find something?
Basically, I've worked with people for years that are looking for employment, and that's kind of what my skill set is to help them. So I think part of it is just I see the economy. I see how long it's taking some people a year or more to find anything, and I'm just really scared. I feel like I'm doing all the footwork, like I'm applying online, I'm calling people and everything, but so far I haven't gotten any calls, and I'm just really scared that, I'll end up with looking, and it just seems so stressful.
Okay, you've said 3 times so far that you're really, really scared.
Yes.
Okay. That's going to be part of your process. Of course, part of you is going to be scared. But I also hear this other part of you that is doing the homework, making the calls, doing the resumes, making contacts, right?
Right.
Okay. And how is that coming?
It's going okay, but I feel really frustrated. Like I feel like I do my best to do a great cover letter and fill out everything completely and personalize it, tailor it, to the the job description, and I'm not getting any calls. And
Okay. And how long have you been looking now?
only a couple weeks.
Only a couple weeks. What did you expect?
I think I'm just having problems letting go of a job that I really, really liked and the people that I liked, and it just was so unexpected. I just didn't think about it that much, that it would happen to me.
Okay, so there was not a lot of warning, and you're still in a bit of shock,
Not at all.
and you're still reeling a bit from that. But I'd also once more want to point out, but look how much you're doing in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm doing everything that I can. I'm still sort of grieving losing that job, and I'm fearful because it was such a good fit for me. I liked everyone I worked with. I really liked my boss, and now the fear of going into a new environment, if I get an offer, the fear of going into a new environment where maybe it won't be as comfortable for me. That scares me.
Okay. And so really the thing that I hear is the main thing going on here is your fear of the fear, your fear of discomfort, your fear of the unknown, your fear of not having the answer in front of you today.
That's exactly it. I'm just scared. I can't sleep. It's just consuming me. Like all I do is think about it, and then I end up just frustrated and tired and depressed because I feel like I know it hasn't been very long, but everything I've told people for years, for myself, it's hard for me to realize that something good's going to happen out of it.
Okay, because something happened to you that you did not count on, you weren't expecting. However, you are seeing this as something bad, as opposed to maybe this is a good thing. Maybe something good broke apart because something better is coming. Do you know that the Chinese, that their word for crisis is opportunity? Here's an opportunity for you to take your skill set, and you have skills, correct?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
and do you feel pretty good about those skills?
I feel good about some of them. There's some that I need to definitely work on because I haven't had that actual experience in the last several years. So there's certain things I do, but there's definitely like some computer skills that I could brush up on and learn.
Okay, so now you have time to do that. You have time to do your job search, and you have time to hone up on some skills. This is an opportunity for you to step it up, to evolve, to take it to the next level. This is going to come down to how you think about it, because the truth is, Terry, you will always be fearful, but if you let that fear get you into a state of being depressed, that it's really going to stress you out, that you're going to think about things in a negative way, then yes, you could go through this process that way, but what if you could turn that around and see that this is an opportunity, that you could maybe anticipate it with a bit of excitement because you're going to be changing and you're going to create something that works even better for you.
That's a much better way to look at it. I think that would change the whole dynamic of it if I could just look at it like this is great. It's time to do something different. And fear, it's just, I guess fear has dominated a large part of my life. Change and goodbyes are hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, rather than look at it like that, just look at it like this could create a whole new set of skills for me, new opportunity to meet new people. And, I just have to change the way I'm thinking about it.
Exactly. And that's the part that you have power over during this period, that you get to control how you think about it, and how you think about it is absolutely going to change how you feel about it. So that you want to know, walking into the door, when you do get that interview, that you're going to walk in there positive. You're going to walk in there thinking that you have something to offer, that you feel good about yourself.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a pen and paper there?
I do.
Okay. This is what I want you to write down. I heard this quote the other day, and I just want you to write it down. Put it at the top of the page. Whatever you do that you're doing within your day, keep this up front so that you can keep going back to it. So write down, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right.
Wow. Wow. Okay. It's very powerful. I really have to change the way I'm looking at the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because how you do will determine the outcome. And that's in your hands. That is in no one else's hands. That is in your hands. If you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right.
Well, I wrote that down, and I'm going to keep it in front of me every day and just try to really live that and change the way I've been thinking about this. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I think that will really help me.
Okay. What I would like you to do is to really take this and give us a call back. Let us know how this process goes.
Okay, Dr. Taylor, I sure will. Thank you.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290. Hi, we're on the phone now with Dean. Hi, Dean. How can I help you?
Hi, Dr. Kim. Well, right now I'm a sophomore in college, and I'm in a long-term relationship with a woman who actually just graduated. But we're going through kind of a little difficult time right now because, since she just graduated and, that she's out on her own. But also, we're just having problems because we don't have much in common, and, we've just been fighting a lot for that just stupid reasons. And we actually just talked about it last night, and we, just worked through it. But then it's getting a little bit back to the fighting mode today, just based on differences. And, that I'm kind of intimidated with her past and, just with things that she used to do, but she says that she's not anymore. And I'm trying my best to get past it. So I'm just trying to work really hard at making this work because I really do love this woman, and I don't want anything bad to happen. So
Dean, what is it that makes you feel that something bad is going to happen?
I'm not really sure. It's just the two of us have seen and done totally different things. That the biggest thing that intimidates me is that she's been with more partners than I have been with. Mm-hmm. And, that for some reason, whenever she talks about it or whenever it's brought up in a conversation, it makes me feel small and I'm not anywhere near where she is, even though she said that it doesn't matter because what's in the past is what is in the past. And I'm totally good with that, and I understand. But it's just, just that small little insecure boy in the back of my head that just wants to make everything work, just despite the fact.
Okay, but what you're saying is that she is older than you. She's now out of college, so she's going to be moving on with her life, correct?
Right.
Okay, and are you seeing each other, or does this now mean it's going to be a long-distance relationship also?
We are. It's both. She actually lives in New Jersey, and I go up to school here in Vermont, and we see each other about maybe once a month or so, but we still talk every day, and we try to talk about everything that's on our mind, and we just try and stay connected all the time because we both really want to make this work, and it's also going to be really hard because I'm going away next semester for 6 months for studying abroad. And so we're talking about that as well, and we're just really trying to make it work, and because we both really want to make it work.
Okay, so you're how old and she's how old?
I'm 20, and she's about to turn 23. So the age gap isn't that big.
Okay.
But it's just that that she again just graduated college, and I still have 2 more years left. And at this particular moment in time, that's a big deal because I'm still in school with that kind of mental attitude, and then she's on the outside, trying to push her career forward, trying to find a a good place to live until after I graduate out of college, and then hopefully the two of us will be able to find a place, find a job, and then move in together.
Okay, but both of you have a lot of growing to do prior to that happening, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in your 20s is a time that guys and girls really change, they really grow, they really need to find out who they are. And it is a time that you're kind of being pushed to figure that out on your own. So definitely what is going to happen here is that there is going to be a lot of changes. And what we're talking about is, can you withstand the changes? Because I'm hearing that you are afraid that she's going to change or she's going to want more, and you're afraid that you're not going to be able to give her that or be there for her when she needs that.
Right.
So all of the things that you're saying to me, those are the kinds of things that help others to continue to grow, that you're not holding each other down, that you want the best for each other. That all sounds really great, but tell me what you are so afraid of. What is it that you fight about?
With me, maybe just with my biggest issue that I'm trying really hard to move past, and I'm trying not to think about it as much anymore. Something we talked about last night is when her past comes up, I don't like hearing about her being with other people because, I just don't want to think about it. But then when the topic does comes back up, I think about it again, and almost every time it gets worse and worse.
We all have to be able to see that the person that comes into our life has a history. They come from somewhere. They've had different experiences. They may have even been in love before. And that we have to accept that that is just a part of who they are. If you're going to build a future together, you have to be in the present, not in the past.
We did talk about this last night. And she actually told me why she had been with so many people was because, she was that before coming to college, she never really felt wanted because she was always a really shy and quiet person. But then when she came to school, someone finally started paying attention to her, and she really liked it, and she didn't want to let go of it because it had never happened to her before. And she told me that, when she was with each different person, that sometimes the next day they wouldn't remember her name and she wouldn't remember theirs. But then she started, with making really good friends, and then noticing that she can have a good friendship with that person and then also have a good physical relationship with that person. But then when I came along, I was the person who didn't see her that way because she told me that being in the dining hall, that I was the one person that was looking for her and wanted to actually sit with her and have, a real conversation with her.
She has found out what it really means to have somebody care about you for the right reasons and not just because they want you sexually. And I think what you are afraid of is that you are with someone who has a past, who, when she doesn't feel good about herself, she seeks out others to try and feel good about herself. And you're afraid that now that there's this distance between you and you're not there in the dining room each day to see her and to meet her and to reassure her, that she may look for this outside the relationship with someone else.
Yeah, that could be a reason.
Yeah. And so I think the fact that the two of you have talked about this and that it sounds like she's actually grown and she has now can see that what she wants is not to just be used and not to feel bad about herself at the end of a night where she might have felt close for a moment, but realizes that it's not the real thing, that with you she does have the real thing. And this is what she wants. She isn't that same person who is going to just seek a quick thrill from someone else as a way to feel good about herself.
Exactly.
So believe her. Believe in her. Let it go. She's learned. You have something much deeper and much better than anything she had before. Trust in that.
Okay.
Okay?
That really helps.
Good. Good. All right, Dean. Thanks very much for your call.
Okay. Thank you so much, doctor.
Okay. Bye-bye. We really want those who love us to believe in our goodness, to believe in us, to actually believe that when we say that we get it and we've changed, that they don't hold us to that old self as if that's the only person that we can ever be. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290.
You are listening to Dr. Kimberly Taylor. You can reach her by calling 564-1290 or toll free at 866-564-1290.
I would like to welcome our new sponsor to the program. It's CRC Healthcare, and with me right now is Kelly Dowdle. She's the regional outreach specialist here in town. So welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So could you tell us just a bit about what CRC is and what their health facilities are?
Sure, absolutely. So CRC stands for Camp Recovery Center, and it was the first program to ever open. And to date, it is the largest behavioral health care organization in the country. So it's a whole entity, and underneath this big umbrella are several different residential treatment programs. So basically treating all different kind of disorders, from addiction to trauma to anxiety, depression, and co-occurring issues as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and does that include eating disorders and
yes, dual diagnosis,
addiction problem as well as a mental health problem?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. How do you go about helping people find the right treatment center?
So basically, I work all along the Central Coast and throughout California, and I am just a free resource to families. So families will call me when they have a loved one or themselves that have an addiction issue or another form of the issues that we were just talking about. Mm-hmm. And essentially what I do is I'm happy to meet with the family or talk to them over the phone. But I kind of listen to the clinical situation and then talk to them about whether they have insurance or how they plan on getting to treatment. And then with that, I find the appropriate program. So I run their insurance at all different programs and basically just work with the family on whatever's the best fit, whether it's them maybe relocating to Florida, finding a place there, or if they want to stay in California, working with, 7 different programs here that we can get them to. So I kind of hold their hand the entire way through. Mm-hmm. And then when they come out of treatment, I also help, find integrative services that maybe they really took to, such as acupuncture or Reiki or equine therapy, in helping to assist their recovery. So.
Okay. And do you also then refer them to a therapist where they live to kind of continue the program?
Absolutely.
Okay. So do you actually go out and meet with the family, go to their homes, and do some kind of formal assessment about what the best kind of treatment center or what it is that they need, that then you then refer them to the specific center that will work with their problems?
Yes. So my whole priority is to not only do outreach and get them to the right program, but mm-hmm. really to be supportive for the family the whole way through. So I'm absolutely willing to go meet with any client or family or anybody seeking treatment to do the free assessment and then look at whatever their situation is and get them to the appropriate program.
Okay, so tell me about a therapist. Can they also call you if they have patients they're trying to work with and that they're trying also to find a treatment center for them?
Absolutely. I really, really reinforce to people, if you're not willing to go to treatment, at least let's get local help. So they can call me anytime to find a primary therapist or a clinician and just kind of taking that first step to the road to recovery.
But you also work with the therapist to help the therapist find someone for their patient too. So it's not just the layperson that would call you. It is also therapists in town that might call you and want help in trying to figure out what the best treatment center is. Because there are a lot of things that you have to think about, and one of those is the cost.
Right.
So whether they can afford it. Are there a lot of services out there if they do not have insurance?
There are. Yeah, we try to get them to the county, and there are programs that work with, low-income families and Medi-Cal and HMO insurances. So I always get them to the right place, whatever that may be.
Mm-hmm. Could you tell us just a bit about the kind of centers that you actually have?
Yes. So, for instance, Sierra Tucson is probably the international leader in treating dual diagnosis. They have several different tracks that they can work with, everything from pain management to trauma to grief and loss to just mood in general, so depression, anxiety, bipolar, and then the addiction tract. So they do a really good job of addressing and eating disorders as well. So that's probably our most elite program as far as the amount of exposure therapeutically they're going to get. And then within California, we have Sober Living by the Sea, which is a whole entity in itself of programs. And the Rose and the Landing are right in our backyard in Newport Beach. And they do an excellent job of East meets West philosophy, the whole biopsychosocial, social, spiritual model, and really working on those integrative services as well. So I refer quite a bit down to Sober Living by the Sea and trusted team down there, very strong clinical program. So we've got there's locations everywhere. And the good news is that when you work for such a large organization like CRC, there's, a lot of funding that goes into the programming. So they get the best of the best clinicians and the best of the best therapy teams. So.
Okay. And do you also have places that are out of state, or are they mostly just in
Yes,
California? Well, there's Tucson, which is...
Yeah, in Arizona. Okay. Yeah, we have programs all across the country. So from Florida all the way to the West Coast.
Are there any questions that you can think of that people should be asking about treatment centers?
Yes, please. Ask about the clinical team. Get to know who your primary therapist would be if you were to go into a program like that. Ask what you get what you pay for with treatment, but with insurance and the beauty of being able to, use out-of-network insurance now, people really need to understand what they're signing up for. So what is their schedule going to look like every day? When they say that they're going to get acupuncture or Reiki or all of these promises that all these programs can provide, how many days a week are they going to be getting that? And how much are you're going to be working with your family? So if, you're really close to your family, how much are they involved in the process? So it's really important to have an advocate, and I am that for people. And it's important to know what the living situation is going to be like and how many people are there. So you really just want to know what you're getting yourself into. And I think it's important to have someone like me to help you do that and kind of, direct the way. So.
Okay, so you will help them if they're not asking the right questions, to give those to them and to run through those so that they are getting to the best treatment center.
Yes.
Given whatever it is that they're trying to deal with.
Yep. My best interest is their best interest. So.
Okay, great. Well, I am very happy to have you on board. I think it's a great resource out there. Tell us how we can contact you.
So I can be reached. My personal number that you can get a hold of me at is 805-242-3860. And once again, that's 805-242-3860. And that's probably the best way to reach me.
Okay. And what I will say is that they also can go to my website, and I will have your contact info on there just in case they didn't get this, and they will be able to access it that way too.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being here. And I think this, once more, will be a great help for people out there.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you just giving people the opportunity to find free resources and have someone to call on. So I appreciate you having me on and really caring about your listeners. It's great.
Great. Thanks. All right. We're going to our last break, and I'll be right back. I'm Kimberly Taylor, and you're listening to KZSB AM 1290. So we're at the end of our program, but we have been talking about relationships and how to create and maintain a lasting bond, and really how to have a long-term relationship that works for both people involved. So I want to leave you with this one quote. It's from The Quiet Rabbit. It's, "Be mindful of others, of your surroundings, of your intentions, of the footsteps each step creates." If you would like to contact me, you can reach me through my website at drkimtaylor.com. And our program is live Thursdays, 2 to 3, and then rebroadcast Thursday evenings at 10 p.m. and Sundays at noon. You can now also go to my website to find out how to download my podcast on iTunes, or you can listen to previous shows. Just go to drkimtaylorshow.com, and it's all there. So if you were unable to reach me and were not able to call in, you can also call in on Sundays when I will be taking your calls. And again, go to my website to find out how to reach me at that time. So whether you call in on Thursdays or Sundays, I'm here to help you with whatever's on your mind. I want to thank Sandy Jacoy and Richard Dugan for helping me get this on the air. And I'm Dr. Kim Taylor, and I will be back to take your calls next Thursday at 2 o'clock. And in the meantime, have a good week. And let me leave you with this thought. Nobody else has to change in order for you to get better. Now go and have a good week, and I'll be with you again next Thursday.